morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. April is Donate Life Month, and health officials say nearly 114,000 people are waiting for a life-saving transplant, and nearly 2,000 are right here in Wisconsin. My first guest represents the 12th Assembly District in the State Assembly, Representative Lakeisha Myers. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And even though we're going to touch on a few political issues while you're here, you are actually here to talk about the importance of organ and tissue donation because you understand on a very personal level, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So you just shared your story with an audience at Versity, which is formerly Blood Center of Wisconsin. They had a movie night that focused on spreading the awareness of organ, tissue, and eye donation. So I was there, and I was actually moved by your testimony, so to speak, dealing with organ donation because being a public figure, you have realized that telling your story really can help make a difference, which really made that S on your chest even bigger to me. So if you would, just kind of give our viewers at home an idea of how this is such a personal issue for you.
It's a personal issue for me because I was diagnosed with end-stage renal disease in 2013, and I had a full kidney shutdown in 2014.
Wow.
So I've been waiting on the kidney transplant list for, it'll be 5 years in September.
Wow.
Yeah.
5 years, and you're not that old, so this happened to you at a really young age.
Right when I got ready to turn 30.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And so leading up to that whole scenario, how did you find out that you were in need of an organ transplant?
I went to my regular primary care physician, you know, for your annual appointment, and my blood pressure was at stroke level.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, "Do you feel okay?" And I'm like, "I feel fine." What do you mean? They're like, "Are you sure you're not dizzy?" I'm like, "No, what's going on?" Everybody's scrambling around and looking to see what's going on. And they come back, they're like, "Look, you either have a heart condition or a kidney issue because you should not be walking around with a blood pressure as high as this is." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I go see my primary care doctor, and she's like, "Yeah, I think we have a kidney problem here." Wow. So, yeah.
And it didn't take much after that to kind of pull all the information together and I'm guessing get you on dialysis.
Absolutely. I didn't start dialysis until a year later because I was not showing symptoms of, you know, kidney failure at that point. I was just at stage 4, which is like end-stage renal disease. So I was still moving about and doing everything, you know, that I was doing. And the next year, I'd actually gone to work and I had noticed that I would become very, very tired. Tired to the point where I would have to take a nap in the middle of the day.
Wow.
So I actually had a break in between classes at that time, and I would like sleep for like an hour and then be like, okay, and then go home again after work and just fall asleep for the entire night. Still not putting it together that
there could be
something going on with you.
Yeah, but when you're a busy woman and you take on a lot of different tasks, then you automatically think, you know what,
I'm just tired because
I've got a lot going on. So I think that's why this conversation is so important. Was it always easy for you to talk about this part of your life?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. I did not want to talk about it in the beginning. I went through my dialysis treatments. I went through all the ebbs and flows of emotions that happen when you have something that could kill you. Because I've been on the brink of death, so I understand what that's like to be in a hospital and not know if you're going to make it and have to go through blood transfusions. And I think I had 2 initially when I was in the hospital. I initially went in the hospital because my kidneys were shutting down. The doctors told me, "Ms. Myers, if you had not gotten here when you did, your family would be making very different arrangements for you right now."
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, so I'm here. So what are we gonna do about this now? And you know, you go in, you have scars, and people, I'm like, oh, I don't want people to see, you know, this scar, the other scars, and it's like, they're just battle wounds, so
Just
you'll be
battle
fine.
wounds. That's
They're just
right.
battle wounds.
Wow, and you are still, like you said, on the waiting list,
Yes.
waiting for a kidney. And really, I want you to convince somebody who has maybe never given it thought or really has kind of been on the fence why it's so important for them to sign up to be an organ, tissue, or eye donor.
It is very important for people to donate organs because, number one, as an African American, we have a high rate of needing organs.
Yes.
We have diseases, liver disease, kidney disease, pancreas, issues where we can have items donated, and we don't do that at the level that I think we should donate. So that's one of the reasons that I'm like, okay, I need to talk to my community about being a live organ donor, which you can do that and still live a perfectly great life.
Yes.
Or you can do it upon death. That's something that Versity usually deals with, the deceased donor organ network. You can also be a live organ donor if you go through one of our major research hospitals in Wisconsin. That would be either UW Hospital in Madison, Froedtert Hospital here in Milwaukee, and also St. Luke's Hospital in Milwaukee. They are the three major research hospitals that we have here in the state. I think it's very good for people to look at donating organs because it usually doesn't touch us until it touches someone in our family.
That's true.
And you're like, what? You need a liver. Well, how does that work? You know, what do we need to do? How can I get tested? We get interested when it touches someone that's close to us.
When it directly affects us.
affects us and directly impacts us, like most things. You know, you're oblivious to it unless you see it on television or, you know, something like that.
And that's why it was so important for you to come here today. So I thank you for helping me and all the people who work and help spread awareness and, you know, give the knowledge so that people have a better understanding. I'm going to send everybody to Versity's website so that they can get more information and read about how they can help make a difference. It's versity.org. We'll put that right there on the screen. And you said something key, looking at statistics, due to high rates of diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease, African Americans have an increased risk of developing kidney failure. So it's very important to understand that African Americans are constituting about 35% of all patients in the country who are waiting for a kidney when we represent, what, a little over 13%
of the population.
Right. Serious numbers. And so before we run out of time, I do want to, again, thank you for sharing your personal story, but I can't have you here and not talk politics, right?
Okay.
So real quick, want to talk about Northridge Mall because you were here when you were campaigning to be a part of the State Assembly, and you had specifically mentioned that you wanted to see something done with Northridge Mall. And a few weeks ago, the conversation came up amongst local officials, and the word that was highlighted was demolition. So fill us in on that.
Well, that was a city decision to have Northridge demolished because I guess there's no movement there with the current owner, which is from overseas, I believe. You know, my issues with that project is that he purchased it to, you know, have it as a retail space. That it's been over 10 years that has not occurred. The
Maybe
blight,
a little longer, right?
I know the heat stayed on for like 10 years, which was, I'm like, who doesn't pay their energy bill for, but that's a different story. If I don't pay mine, they turn mine off, but okay, it stayed on for 10 years.
Wow.
And eventually that was paid. But I have not seen any real movement with either them trying to sell it back to the city or to any other entity. And at this point in time, I drive through the neighborhood often over by Northridge, and you can see where graffiti has taken over, where it's just becoming an eyesore.
And probably starting to kind of chip away.
I mean, after non-use for so long and, you know, non-maintenance, you know, it's going to pot, really. So at this particular time, I'm in favor of it being demolished if it's not going to be reused. My only question with that, and this would be a question for city officials, is if the entity that owns it is not going to demolish it, then it falls on the city to demolish it since they've already put the order in place. Do we have funds in the city of Milwaukee budget to actually go forth with demolition?
That's what taxpayers want to know too.
Exactly, and I don't want to pay for anybody else's private project, so that's just me.
Okay.
But,
so it looks like this is a conversation
yes, ma'am.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Yes. And one last thing, I just wanted to make the viewers aware that back in February, you and Senator Lena Taylor, you introduced legislation aimed at making prescription drug pricing more transparent, highlighting that the average Wisconsinite spends about $1,500 per year on prescriptions. That's a pretty big deal, especially we're talking about health today.
Absolutely.
And that's something we need to keep our eye on as well, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think companies should let the state know when they are getting ready to raise prices, and that's what this particular legislation does. They would have to basically give a justification as to why they were raising prices, and then there would be a trend. We could look at patterns to see how the prices were raised over time.
Okay, well, thank you so
Thank you so
much
much.
for coming by today,
Absolutely.
and you keep on keeping on, all
Okay.
right, and fighting
you.
the good fight.
Okay.
Representative Lakeisha Myers represents State Assembly District 12, and to follow what's happening in the Assembly, of course, you can go to legis.wisconsin.gov. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll continue our conversation about organ and tissue donation. We'll meet two individuals who will share their personal stories about being organ recipients, and we'll do that right after this.